your host, Maria Cozette, and today my guest is Stepan Baghdassarian, ESQ, and we are going to be discussing his candidacy for Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge, Office number 60. How are you, Stepan?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Good. Very happy to have you here. And of course, we have a lot to discuss. But first and foremost, I want to touch upon the fact that yours is a true American dream story. You migrated here in 1976 from Lebanon and only 8 years later graduated from UCLA. So I'd like to ask you, what first inspired you to study law?
Well, my family immigrated here from Lebanon in 1976. In our family, we have always stressed education. By far, my parents it was very important for them that my brother and I are well educated. So it was the main reasons we also left Lebanon, escaping the civil war in Lebanon. After coming to the United States, I went to high school in Van Nuys, Grant High School, and subsequently went to UCLA. And I always knew I wanted to be a professional, and being in law suit my personality. That's what I wanted to do. That's why I wanted to get involved myself professionally. After which I went to law school. Law school was a very long and tedious and challenging experience, but nevertheless, it was something I'm glad I did, and it suits me very well.
You persevered, absolutely.
Yes.
And so I know that you've been practicing law now for 27 years, but in the midst of that, you went on to pursue entrepreneurial ventures. So what are some of that, and let's briefly discuss it.
Sure. I've been a lawyer for 27 years, and I've been involved in different types of law, business, corporate, immigration, litigation. However, I've also pursued, as you mentioned, entrepreneurial endeavors as well. For a while, I had a law office in São Paulo, Brazil, where we were representing Brazilian business in the United States and U.S. business in Brazil. That gave me a great deal of insight and experience into dealing with different people, different cultures, different experiences, different types of legal issues that we were faced for our clients. Subsequently, as well as I've also dealt with clients from China to South America, from Europe to Middle East, of course, in the United States. And as far as the business I was involved in, we represented one of my companies in the beginning. We were representing clients to get them established in the United States, not only legally, but having them established to set up as a business in the United States so that they can bring their employees here and operate as a U.S. business. And that gave them a lot of advantages, including immigration benefits as well as corporate benefits.
I see.
Aside from that, I also have been involved in the wine wholesale business, where my company, we distribute wine throughout California and through Western United States.
Wow, interesting.
Both importation and distribution.
Very interesting, a very versatile professional, yes.
That's right.
Yes, of course, and you've done well. And so you say education is of utmost importance, and I actually agree with you, absolutely. And so it's important to educate the public about voting. So June 7th is voting, and we know that high votes count, so please get out there and vote. Let's talk about registration being May 23rd, and if they cannot make it to the polls on June 7th, how can they submit their absentee ballot? So let's discuss that with our viewers.
Very well. As you mentioned, the deadline to register is May 23rd. You can register online, as well as filling out a form that you get from the post office or from the DMV offices. But nowadays, everything is being online. Registration is online as well. On your registration request, you can request that you also receive an absentee ballot if you aren't going to be able to go to the polls on June 7th. That's very, very important. You don't want to miss out the opportunity to cast your vote for all the issues that are out there, both presidential elections, gubernatorial or senatorial, Congress, Assembly, and of course judicial elections. Let's not forget the judicial elections as well. So it's very, very important that you take this opportunity. We live in a great country where we are given this opportunity, this privilege to vote. We should not waste it. We should not forget about it. We should rather exercise it so we can make claims for our rights.
Absolutely. That is one of the greatest privileges we have living in America, so exercise your rights. So you announced your candidacy in March, correct?
No, actually in February.
In February, okay.
Right.
So you announced your candidacy in February, and I'm sure it's been a very interesting journey. Let's talk about that. How has your journey been like since?
Indeed, it even goes even further. About last September, I was talking with some friends, and they suggested that elections are coming up in June for judicial elections, that I should think about participating.
Right.
That got me started thinking about it, and I thought about it for a while, discussed with my family, and decided, you know what, why not? It is something I want to do. I've been in private practice all my career, all my life. It's time for public service. So we started the process beginning of January with filling out the numerous applications, numerous petitions, soliciting petitions from the community as well. And we started the process, but officially we launched it in February, but nevertheless the process started earlier. And it has been a very fascinating, interesting, challenging at times an experience. It's nothing like I've done before. I've practiced law, I've conducted business, but running for office is a whole different experience, whole different process, and it requires a whole different set of skills that one must have in order to maneuver through the wild or sometimes creative channels that people have to go through in order to run for office, hopefully successfully. I've enjoyed meeting a lot of interesting people. I've enjoyed talking to a lot of groups. Nowadays, my days are spent going to 2-3 different meetings a day, talking to small groups, large groups, explaining to them why am I running, why they should vote for me, and so on. So it's been a fascinating experience, and I'm enjoying a great deal.
And so you say a process. I know that many of our viewers may not be familiar with that process. So how does it actually work from the moment you decide that you want to be a candidate, and from that moment, let's say, until now? What is the process?
Very well. In California, most of the judges are appointed by the governor for a period of 6 years. However, the law allows individuals to run to be judges as well,
right,
as long as that person has been a lawyer for a minimum of 10 years.
Okay.
And I've been as you said, for 27 years, right, so it's not an issue. So I certainly qualify and eligible to run for this office. And the process is to talk to members of the community, voters all throughout LA County. Mind you that even though I'm running for office number 60, which is in Van Nuys, it's a county-wide election. Everybody in Los Angeles County can vote for me and other people who are running for office. And Los Angeles County being a large mass of area that it is, it's a lot of people I need to go talk to, get the message out. It starts from all the way from Pomona to Thousand Oaks, from Palmdale, Lancaster, all the way to the Long Beach and to the beach area. So it's a large area. And interestingly, during this election cycle, there are 7 judicial elections going on.
Right.
Mine happened to be office number 60. There are 6 other judicial elections that are going on at the same time. So it's a tedious sometimes, but interesting, fascinating process, which I'm enjoying a great deal.
Well, your efforts are certainly commendable. So congratulations for your tireless efforts. And so on May 24th, you have your fundraiser event, and actually it's graciously being hosted by Gary Tagalian. It's at Tagalian Complex in Hollywood. So let's talk about the event and what can guests expect.
Very well. Yes, I'm very grateful for Gary for hosting this event for me, and along with TikTok Flowers and Royal Gore Photography for participating in this event. This is open to the public. It's a fundraiser. As you can imagine, running for office, any office, is an expensive proposition.
Absolutely.
And I've received tremendous support from the community, both financial and otherwise. And this is something we want to build on to finish this process in a strong manner. So it's important that we have some more funds collected and donors, looking for donors to come to this event. But nevertheless, we're expecting a lot of people who will come to this event, entertainers and so on, so that we present to the public a a meaningful and fun atmosphere, as well as introducing myself and talking to them about the campaign, where things are by that point, and having a successful event, and more importantly, having a successful campaign.
Of course, of course. And speaking of supporters, you have many supporters, a substantial presence on social media. So I encourage all of you, I'm sure you're on Facebook, so go to Baghdassarian for Judge on Facebook, and on Twitter, follow the hashtag Stepan, that's the number 4, Judge. And once again, you can visit his website, which is displayed on the screen. But just to reiterate, it's Baghdassarian4judge.com. Stay with us after this small commercial break. We are back. I'm your host, Maria Cozette, and today my guest is Stepan Baghdassarian, ESQ, and we're discussing his candidacy for Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge, office number 60. So it is very important for Armenians to vote. We know that, and I believe the messages have been conveyed over and over again through social media, television, and such. Why do you think it's important for an Armenian to be voted?
Well, as citizens of this country and this community, it's important for us to participate and make our claim. In Los Angeles County, there are 587 judges and commissioners, yet there are only 5 Armenian judges. For me, that's not enough.
Right.
We have the second largest population of Armenians outside of Yerevan in Los Angeles, yet we don't have enough participation among judges, among legislatures. It's very important for us to participate in the process and make our claim, and this is my way of doing this. And the way, as I was explaining earlier, the way judges are elected is judges are appointed for 6 years. So every 2 years, a number of them are re-elected. As long as nobody runs against them, they are automatically re-elected.
I see.
In this cycle, out of the 184 judges who were up for election, only 3 are being challenged, yet the other 170 were automatically elected already.
Ah, okay.
So there are other opportunities for other attorneys who want to participate in this process to take on the challenge. It's not easy, but it can be done, and with the support of the community, we can do what we need to do to give us bigger voices in the community at large.
Absolutely. So speaking of, what are the notable characteristics you believe you have that make you a distinguished candidate?
At the risk of sounding immodest,
I know. It's okay.
I believe I have the patience. I believe that I have the knowledge. I have the experience, both legal, from within the legal world and outside the legal world as well, and understanding and listening to people, and also integrity. A former federal judge, Robert Bonner, talks about various characteristics that a judge must possess in order to be a good judge, and he talks about judicial temperament, someone who has to act the part, someone who has the knowledge, someone who has the integrity, someone who is a good listener, and someone who can make decisions quickly. As a judge, you don't have the luxury of waiting weeks, months, sometimes to make a decision. You have to decide on a case fairly quickly.
Right.
And you have to be able, as a human being, you have to be able to make that decision fairly quickly, because there are a lot of cases to be decided, a lot of people's lives are on hold, they're waiting to be, for the outcome of the court and so on. So it's very important for an attorney to possess these characteristics in order to be able to be a good judge. And I believe I possess those characteristics.
What role do you believe social media plays in the world that we are today? Of course, it's a significant role, but as far as your campaign goes?
It's amazing how important social media has become in any election nowadays, including our campaign at the moment. Due to the fact that social media, we have immersed ourselves in through Facebook and through Twitter, we are reaching tremendous amount of people that otherwise would not be able to reach. With postings and sharing. One of the main things I stress in my interactions with members of the social media that I'm interacting with is to share. That's very, very important. That's how it's growing. Due to social media, we're reaching about 12 to 15,000 people a week.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is amazing, and that takes a lot of skill, a lot of effort, and a lot of time as well. But it's important nowadays, as I was mentioning before, Los Angeles County is such a large place, it's almost impossible to reach everywhere, yet social media is everywhere.
Right.
And with Facebook and Twitter, and to a certain extent through our website, we're able to reach tremendous amount of people and get their reaction and solicit their help in our effort, and the response has been tremendous. We're getting a lot of requests, a lot of what can we do to help, questions and so on. So I'm very touched and humbled by the response I've gotten from the community, both Armenian community and non-Armenian community as well, because this is, after all, this is Los Angeles, and we are reaching out to everybody within Los Angeles County, sometimes even outside. Some of our supporters are even coming from the East Coast, from Armenia. So it's been tremendous. The response has been tremendous.
Beautiful, and I'm sure it really fuels your ambition to keep moving forward. And so your support is very much needed and appreciated. And once again, just to reiterate, you can visit on Facebook, like the fan page, follow the posts at Baghdassarian for Judge, or you can go to facebook.com/Baghdassarian for Judge. If you are on Twitter, follow the hashtag. It's hashtag Stepan, the number 4 Judge. And of course, as the website is displayed on the screen, visit. And you can also, by the way, RSVP there for the upcoming fundraiser, May 24th. And you go to Baghdassarian4judge.com/Tagalyan. So any last remarks you would like to tell our viewers?
Yes. Thank you for this opportunity, Los Angeles. I'm eternally grateful for your efforts. I want you to register by the 23rd, and I want you to vote for me on June 7th or even earlier. Please tell your friends, your family, your neighbors. We have a great opportunity here to make a success of this campaign, and I cannot do it without your support. Very, very important that you participate in this process. This is our privilege, this is our right. Take it seriously and participate. Come to our Facebook page, Baghdassarian for Judge, and get involved. Come to our website, Baghdassarian4judge.com again, and get involved, volunteer, get the word out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'd like to once again make mention of the upcoming fundraiser event. It is Tuesday, May 24th at Tagalyan Complex. You must RSVP by the 23rd. And of course, you can expect a lovely evening, entertainment, networking with professionals, a wonderful crowd in attendance, and a lot of support from different vendors, sponsors, and really the community. And please remember that Armenians, your voices must be heard. So absolutely, by voting for an Armenian in office, that helps. And thank you so much for joining me today. It was very insightful. I actually learned a lot from you. And I wish you the very best on your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Maria Cozette.